Hey, this is Walk and Talk 241. We're talking about anxiety, insecurity, fear, worry. If you're struggling with security, you're feeling insecure, one verse out of the Bible can help you. This is Walk and Talk 241. It's January 9th. Just a great day. It's about 45 degrees in Mesa, Arizona. I hope that as you head into the new year, if you have anxiety, if you have fear, if you're struggling with worry and insecurity, if you've got dread, if you're dreading things. Listen to this verse. This is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9. The person who walks in integrity walks securely. The person who walks in integrity walks securely. Let me point out just a couple of practical observations. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9. If you walk in integrity, you will discover less anxiety. If you walk in integrity, you will have less worry, less fear, more security. Now think with me, the word integrity, if you walk in integrity is simply honesty. It's credibility. So the idea of integrity is you're an honest person and you can be trusted. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk, if you're feeling anxious or fearful, or you're worrying about your health, for example. Yesterday, someone told me they had a total prostate removal, and 2024 was the worst year of their life. Another person said they've been battling a different type of cancer, and they've had lots of insecurity. So understand that this verse is saying, if you're an honest person, you can walk with less fear, security. So how does that work? What I'm simply saying to you is God is about trustworthiness. God is about integrity. God, who created everything, can be trusted. If you're experiencing worry or fear or anxiety, then chances are you're not being honest. By that I mean there's some self-deception going on. Could be on purpose, or it could be simply you don't recognize it. So think with me for just a moment. If you're honest, the Bible is simply saying you can walk securely. So if you have cancer and you're afraid of that, be honest about it. That's what the Bible is saying. If you have a situation that's creating anxiety, be honest. Don't try to cover it up. A person who's honest will experience security. A person who's dishonest will not. What this verse is simply saying, Proverbs 10:9, is that when you walk in honesty before God, before the people around you, if you have prostate cancer, don't be afraid to say that. And don't be afraid to talk to God about your fear of cancer. The Bible is simply saying that when you're an honest person to yourself, when you're an honest person to the people around you, when you're an honest person to God, you will experience security. So if you want worry or anxiety to decrease, be more honest with God. Be more honest with yourself. Be more honest with the people around you. It's easy to cover up. It's easy to not be honest. It's easy to deceive. It's easy not to be honest. This verse is simply saying that when you're a person of integrity, and there are several aspects to being a person of integrity, honesty with yourself and those around you, not deceiving willfully or otherwise. This idea of being transparent is a big deal. If you're not being honest with yourself about whatever it is you're being afraid of, you're going to keep walking in insecurity. If you're not being honest with God, if you're not being honest with the people around you, you're going to struggle. I'm simply suggesting in this walk and talk that you can decrease your fear, decrease your worry, decrease your anxiety by being a person of integrity. That's what the Bible is saying. There's a positive correlation between honesty and security. So the more honest you are, the more secure you are. Why? Because that's who God is. God is 100% honest, 100% trustworthy. Simply understand that God has created you not to hide, not to deceive, but to be honest. And the simple principle, Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9, is just simply saying the person who walks in integrity, honesty, walks securely. So if you're a person who is dishonest, or if you are afraid to be honest about reality, reality is the normal, the ordinary, the stuff of life. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk. Be an honest person. I'm encouraging you to be transparent. Don't deceive. Don't delay. Don't cover up the reality of your life. If you're challenged, if you're struggling, if you're faced with situations that are hard to understand, whether that be cancer or whether that be paying your bills, if you're anxious over how are you going to pay your bills, be honest. The Bible says again and again, speak the truth in love. So most of us, we don't probably like the truth. We don't like to state the facts. But this verse is simply saying, if you walk in the truth, integrity, honesty, if you don't try to deceive yourself or others or God, you'll discover security. So, practical suggestion for you. If you're like the person I was talking with last week, they said they had some anger issues. And I just simply said, make a list of the triggers that triggers your anger. There are circumstances, there are situations that we get angry, we get insecure, we get anxious, and I said, make a list. What's triggering your anger just from what you know? And then I said to the individual, now identify if there's any lies, if there's any half-truths, if there's any manipulation of the truth. In other words, are you believing a lie? And I asked the individual to come up with about 6 or 7 lies that they were believing that might accompany or be a part of the circumstances that's triggering their anger. This individual is working on that and is discovering that there's different things that trigger their anger. Or let me say it another way. There's different lies that trigger insecurity. What the Bible is saying in Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9, the one who walks in truth walks in peace. You don't have to be insecure when you walk in the truth. When you feel the truth will set you free. Speak only the truth, only in love. And the Bible is simply saying you'll discover peace. You'll discover security. It's when we lie, we find ourselves with fear, with anxiety, with insecurity. Simple suggestion for you. If you're feeling anxious, what are the triggers? What's happening? What was just said? What are your feelings? What are you thinking about that's triggering your fear? Write down the 5 things that come to your mind that might be triggering your fear, your anger. And then say to yourself, are there any lies in those feelings, those thoughts? What's the truth about that circumstance, that feeling? What's the truth about those words? A person who walks in honesty, God blesses when you're honest with yourself. So what this verse is simply saying, Proverbs 10:9, is self-deception creates insecurity. If you're self-deceived, if you can't see the truth and you live by the lie, you'll discover very quick the challenges all around. That fear, insecurity, worry is knocking at everyone's door. But you can be secure when you're honest. But if you're dishonest with yourself, purposely ignoring the truth, covering up the facts, then you will experience anxiety. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9 says, the person who walks in integrity, honesty, walks securely. Next Thursday, I'm going to talk about the second part of Proverbs 10:9. And the second part says, but the one who is self-deceived in his ways will be found out. Most of us discover constantly that sooner or later the truth comes out. Next week, we're going to talk about self-deception. If you're struggling with anxiety or fear or insecurity or worry, there could be self-deception. You're deceiving yourself. We'll work on self-deception next Thursday. But I'm just encouraging you today, be an honest person and enjoy peace and security. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with God. Be honest with people around you. You say, Roger, sometimes when I'm honest, that gets me in trouble. And I'll just simply say to you, obviously, honesty has to be given appropriately, thoughtfully. If you're aware that sometimes if you are in a movie theater and you yell out fire, and maybe you did see something that you thought, but you know that it really wasn't on fire, well, that's going to create a problem. Be careful to not move toward self-deception, honesty, integrity. This is Walk and Talk 241. It's January 9th. It's about 45 degrees. It's about 10:30 in the morning. It's just a beautiful morning. We invite you to worship with us this coming Sunday at 9:30 and 11 at First Baptist Church of Tempe, 4525 South McClintock. Join us for a Bible class Sunday morning, and there are different classes throughout the week. Call the church office and ask for information. 480-839-0926. You can also go to the church website, fbc-tempe.org, and discover information about our church. Call the church, email the church, ask for a staff member, and just share some of your questions, some of your thoughts. If you got some fear and you need some help on that, we'd be more than happy to help you. Today is a great day to be a person of integrity. That means you're honest. You're not dishonest. You're trustworthy. Enjoy. Blessings on you.